History for Illinois Wesleyan basketball.
This is the CCIW Network. A happy new year to you all. The new year begins with a pivotal women's basketball matchup. The top two teams in the CCIW go head-to-head with the number 13 Illinois Wesleyan Titans playing host to the 14th ranked Carroll Pioneers. From the Shirk Center in Bloomington, Illinois, I'm Matt Sossler alongside Michael Eaglehouse. Michael, first off, Happy New Year. Second off, what a way to start off 2026. The top team in the conference versus the conference runner-up from last season. Two teams that are projected to once again duel on the final Saturday of the season coming up in late February.
Yeah, and if you didn't get any presents from Santa for Christmas, you're certainly getting a New Year's gift in this matchup today. It should be a very, very good one. Two tightly contested teams, as you mentioned. I think it's going to be a really good test for both of these teams. We'll get into it more as we go along, but you schedule these hard games on purpose to see where your team's at and hopefully get your team on a roll come playoff time.
The Pioneers ranked number 14 in the D3Hoops.com poll. Carroll at 2-0 in the conference, 8-3 on the year for Illinois Wesleyan. They are 8-4, a perfect 3-0 in league play. Both of these teams are coming off of holiday time tournaments, and both coaches taking different approaches to how they scheduled their winter break. For Illinois Wesleyan, they were in action after Christmas, right before the new year, going 1-1 down in the Sunshine State. They dropped their most recent contest to Wisconsin Lutheran after they beat Bethel by 2 points. As for Carroll, they haven't been in action in nearly a couple weeks. December 21st, when they lost to eighth-ranked Washington and Lee 76-66, taking on All-American Mary Schlussner, one of the most dominant posts in the country. So we'll have to see how that long layoff impacts the Pioneers. But with more on the Titans, we'll be joined by assistant coach Brian Erzman coming up right after this on the CCIW Network. Back at the Shirk Center in Bloomington, the Titans and the Pioneers about to do battle in a pivotal CCIW clash. Matt Sossler alongside Titan assistant coach Brian Erzman. First off, coach, a happy holidays, a happy new year. You get out of that mid-season non-conference interlude back into CCIW play. What have you noticed about your team in the run-up between Florida and getting ready for a game that could decide a lot in a couple of months?
Yeah, I think our players are very aware of that. I've seen a shift in their mindset. I think in their, not necessarily their effort, they always have good effort, but I think it's more of just the focus level, I think, is even a step higher than in the past during this week.
A result that you didn't want against UChicago. Then you have that 12-day Christmas time layoff. How did the team respond down in Florida, going 1-1, getting the win against Bethel, falling to Wisconsin Lutheran, but being able to get back on the court with each other after that loss on the south side a few weeks back?
Yeah, a really tough tournament that we were in. 4 really good teams that I think are NCAA caliber teams, NCAA tournament caliber teams. So, back to back, it's the teams that won their first 2 games on that day then lost the next day. So I think it was 4 teams that, on any given day could have beaten each other. Bethel was a really good team. I expect them to be in contention to host the first couple weekends of the NCAA tournament. They lost one of their best players in the first half of our game. So when they're at full strength, they're one of the best teams in the country, I think. So a really good win for us. And then Wisconsin Lutheran got off to a pretty good start. But, give them credit. They had a freshman guard step up, and they handled the ball pretty well.
There's a lot of ways to go about the holiday break, especially when you're in a tough league like the CCIW and you dive right into it after the new year. How do you approach the holiday break, especially with getting back on New Year's Eve and then having that Wednesday, Saturday reset before the conference slate resumes?
Yeah, the schedule it felt a little bit tight, coming back from Florida and with the holiday and then getting back into the swing. But I think everyone knew how important this game was, so we were ready to get back to practice after we got back, and we've had a really good couple days of practice.
The long-awaited debut of Leah Palmer at the Shirk Center is anticipated for this afternoon. She played in both contests down in Florida. What have you noticed about her since transferring in?
She fits in really well, just, even off the court, that type of stuff. Everyone really enjoys her. She's a really good kid, and she works hard. She has a great basketball IQ, so she got her feet wet in a couple games. I think she played maybe 12 minutes or so, roughly, in those 2 games. Rebounds super hard. She's going to be a good scorer for us as well, and we're not an easy team. I've said this to just all of a sudden sit right in. We don't necessarily tell you that you have to go from A to B and B to C. Our players have a lot of freedom, so I think it's just getting that chemistry with the players on the floor is going to take a little bit of time, but we're really excited about her.
Matt Sossler alongside Titan assistant coach Brian Erzman before their clash with Carroll. Coach, you've seen this team. This will now be the 7th time over the last 2 years and change. A Carroll team that, similar to you, has lost some production, but still has that strength, especially down low. And Natalie Gracious, what's your scout on the Pios?
Yeah, really good team. Team we have a lot of respect for. We've had some good battles the last few years against them. And again, Gracious, one of the best players in the conference. She can go inside and out. Wisner she's a good shooter, always been a good shooter, but she's taken her game off the bounce a little bit more. And then Locker off the bench, really aggressive scorer. They have a little bit of a big three in terms of scoring, but then their role players just play so hard and they're so smart. They run their system really well, so credit to them for that. And they're a good team. Like, you can tell it's a good team when I can tell what they're trying to run, when scouting. So, we know their plays. Our players know their plays. They know our plays, I'm sure. So just going to see who can get it done on the floor.
Before I let you go, your keys to a critical conference victory.
Definitely controlling the pace. We want to speed them up. We don't want them to run half-court offense. So getting them a little bit out of sync. And then for us, just our IQ defensively as well. Yes, we might know their actions, but we got to know their personnel and what we need to do no matter what play they're running.
The Titans and the Pioneers coming up right after this. Coach, thanks so much for the time.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it.
Back in a moment on the CCIW Network.
Why is Illinois Wesleyan the #1 school in Illinois for jobs? Maybe it's because we're the AND University. That's right, A-N-D. And. Here you can explore the arts and study in a pre-professional program. Double major and play a sport. Do an internship and study abroad. Your opportunities are endless. Set yourself apart with a degree from Illinois Wesleyan.
What is proven science? At Just Thrive, it's about best-in-class clinical research. It's about supplements that empower users to control their health. These are the elements that make up the foundation of Just Thrive. Our proven, clinically backed, proprietary probiotic removes the guesswork from supplement selection because we've done the work for you to ensure that you're getting the best product possible, empowering you to take back control of your health from a leader in the digestive, immune, and emotional health spaces.
At NCAA championships, noise is made here. Memories are made here. Champions win here. The only thing missing here is you. The NCAA Division III Women's Volleyball Championship, coming to Bloomington, Illinois this December. Get your seats at ncaa.com/tickets.
Pre-game at the Shirk Center between a top 15 clash in the CCIW. Matt Sossler alongside Michael Eganhouse. We just heard from Titan assistant coach Brian Ersman. And Michael, one of the things that he harped on was these two teams are familiar with each other. However, Carroll losing Olivia Rangel, All-American to graduation, they're going to have to lean on Natalie Gracious a lot more.
Well, yeah, and Natalie Gracious, one thing when I went back and watched this Carroll team, if you let her get going from the three-point line lately, she will hit them like nobody's business. Really, this whole Carroll team in general, they do not miss a lot of shots. So Natalie Gracious is certainly going to play a part. And if you're the Titan defense, don't let her get hot behind the three-point line.
Carroll's a top 10 team nationally in field goal percentage. Gracious shooting nearly 37% from behind the three-point line, over 50% from the field. Had 3 20-point performances against the Green and White a year ago. And, Michael, this is a Titan team that lost a lot of their post defense, but they have played post players well in the first half of the year. A lot of that is due to the freshman, Aja Kobalarczyk.
Yeah, Kobalarczyk has some height to her, 6'1", freshman, and she's going to play a really, really big role. The Titans, last time they played the Carroll Pioneers in that championship, Carroll had 48 points in the paint. So if you're going to have Carroll score, you need to make sure that it's outside the paint. Don't let them get any easy points.
The CCIW championship last year, it was Illinois Wesleyan 95, Carroll 86. Carroll's 86 points are the most points scored by any team in a CCIW title game in a losing effort. And for the Pioneers, that was a game for them due to the MPI rankings that was do or die. Their only hope of getting in the NCAA tournament was to upset Illinois Wesleyan. Illinois Wesleyan had a little bit of a chip on their shoulder after Carroll walked into this building 2 years ago and took down the Titans in the CCIW championship match, and then the Titans got it back last year, scoring nearly 100 points in the conference championship en route to what was ultimately a Sweet 16 season for Illinois Wesleyan. But a lot of new faces in new places. However, the rivalry remains the same. The top two teams in the CCIW, the Titans and the Pioneers, coming up next on the CCIW Network.
Just want to add strains. We wanted to add results. So at Just Thrive, we were very specific about finding strains that work synergistically to improve the overall microbiome in a way that you could feel it. For example, reducing bloating, improving the immune response, improving digestion, working on leaky gut. These are all things you will feel when you start to use a product that is formulated in a synergistic way. Try the Just Thrive probiotic and antioxidant and see how microbial synergy works for you.
OSF Healthcare Cardiovascular Institute has been named one of the top hospital systems in the country for heart care. This prestigious award by the American College of Cardiology comes from our commitment to providing the highest quality of care. From general cardiology to complex surgeries and the latest technology. Nationally recognized heart care right here.
Back at the Shirk Center in Bloomington, Matt Sosler alongside Michael Eganhouse. The Pioneers and the Titans are about to get underway, and without further ado, we send it down courtside for pregame introductions.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Illinois Wesleyan University's Shirk Center for today's CCIW matchup featuring our guests from Waukesha, Wisconsin, the Pioneers of Carroll University. At this time, we ask you please stand if you are able, remove your hats, and join in the singing of our national anthem.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Now let's meet today's starting lineups. The Pioneers of Carroll University enter today's contest with an overall record of 8-3 and a CCIW mark of 2-0. They were ranked number 14 in the most recent D3Hoops.com poll. Their starters today include at forward a 5'10" senior from Verona, Wisconsin, number 4, Anna Nielsen. At guard, a 5'10" freshman from Yorkville, Illinois, number 5, Lainey Gussman. At guard, a 5'7" junior from Bloomington, Illinois, number 10, Katie Barger. At guard, a 5'9" senior from Germantown, Wisconsin, number 32, Emily Wisner. And at forward, a 5'10" senior from Oconomowoc, Wisconsin, number 33, Natalie Grecius. The Pioneers are coached by Lindsay Schultz, assisted by Katie Evans and Dave Borowitz. Illinois Wesleyan enters this contest with an 8-4 overall record and a conference mark of 3-0. The Titans are ranked number 14 in the most recent D3Hoops.com poll. Starting this afternoon for your Titans are at guard, a 5'8" senior from Downers Grove, Illinois, number 2, Sawyer White. At guard, a 5'9" senior from Bloomingdale, Illinois, number 3, Sarah Bali. At guard, a 5'6" senior from Lincolnshire, Illinois, number 22, Ava Bardick. At forward, a 5'11" freshman from Park Ridge, Illinois, number 23, Caitlin Layden. And at forward, a 6'1" freshman from Park Ridge, Illinois, number 24, Aja Kovalarczyk. Illinois Wesleyan is coached by Maya Smith, assisted by Brian Erzman, Kate Bowman, Chad Cusick, and Sammy Matush.
The starting lineups from the Shirk Center in Bloomington, the top 2 teams in the CCIW. What a perfect way to start off 2026. Matt Sossler alongside Mike Liegenhaus. Both of these teams are perfect in league play. And this game could be pivotal in terms of who gets to host the conference tournament at the end of February. The last 2 years, it has been held here at the Shirk Center. Will Illinois Wesleyan carry themselves into the driver's seat towards hosting a 3rd straight conference tournament, or will Carroll put themselves ahead of the pack to potentially move the event up to Waukesha? Michael, before the ball goes in the air, your keys to the game real quick.
Well, I think for Illinois Wesleyan, you got to make sure that you're playing really good defense. We mentioned how good Carroll is at getting the ball in the basket, force them outside. And if you're Carroll, you have to watch out for Ava Bardick. As we mentioned, a lot of players lost for both of these squads, but for Illinois Wesleyan, they're going to have a full team effort. Ava Bardick's going to start with that.
Layden off the mark, the freshman out of Park Ridge, nearly taken away by Sawyer White. Barger out to Anna Nielsen. Both teams coming up short on their first shots of the game. Kovalarczyk a little slow to get up down low. Tapped around, rebounded by Sarah Bali. Knocked out of bounds, hit off of the Bloomington native Barger last. Barger, no stranger to the Shirk Center. This venue hosts a lot of high school events. So she's played there a lot even before becoming a Pioneer. Early substitution, Kobalarczyk checks out. Leah Palmer checks in for the first time at the Shirk Center. Palmer, the transfer out of Lewis, came to Illinois Wesleyan mid-year. The redshirt freshman, younger sister of Titan 1,000-point scorer and all-conference selectee Kate Palmer. Coach Ersman talked about it pregame on how they're trying to ease her into the system. Let's see if she's able to take advantage of the minutes as Bardick travels.
Yeah, Bardick there just playing a little bit too quick. Brain wasn't quite thinking at the same speed as her hands. Just traveled right there, but they'll get right back to it.
Second possession of the day for Carroll. It's Lainey Gussman, the freshman, who has it taken away by Sarah Bali, who goes coast to coast to open the book.
Nice job by Sarah Bali right there. That's going to be something for the Titans as well, creating turnovers. They're very good at it, and they're going to hopefully get a lot of points off when they create those turnovers.
Carroll, who struggled against the run and jump in years past, trying to do it without their All-American point guard, who they lost to graduation from a year ago, as the Titans get their second straight takeaway. Palmer, nearly her first basket at the Shark, rebounded by Anna Nielsen. Inside, too much for Gracious, taken by White, who down in Florida a few days ago became the Illinois Wesleyan all-time steals leader. Bali for three, rebounded by Palmer. Palmer spins around, no whistle, out of bounds, Carroll basketball.
Nice job right there from the point of the Carroll defender, not fouling, just putting her hands straight up.
It's been almost all defense so far. The lone basket, a layup from Sarah Bali. Gracious in trouble, finds Gussman down low. She heard Layden coming.
Wesleyan caught a break there. They got all cut up towards the ball, let one of the Carroll players down in the paint.
That was the kryptonite for Illinois Wesleyan 2 years ago in their conference tournament loss to the Pioneers. Palmer from the free throw line, in and out. Barger gets by Bali and ties the game. Barger averages 5.3 points per game. Had 4 their last time out against Washington and Lee. White from the corner, got it.
Nice pass right there in the corner. She had two options. Sarah Bali was also up near the elbow, but found the open point.
Wisner, one of the most lethal three-point shooters in the country, is off the mark. Layden with the rebound. Stretch pass taken away by Wisner. Wisner puts it in her own hands and makes it happen.
Emily Wisner.
Both teams with 2 made field goals. Bardick still scoreless. Illinois Wesleyan's leading scorer nearly on the board, rebounded by Wisner. Nearly midway through this first period, inside to Gracious, her first points of the day.
Gracious, we talked about her in the open, one of the star players for Carroll, found the open space in the paint and got the nice dump off.
White's rejected by Gussman. Gracious averaging 21.8 points per game this year. All-conference selectee from a year ago, and has had the Titans number. Scored 20-plus points in all 3 games last year. Layden has her pocket pick, Carroll basketball. Good to see Aja Kobalarczyk back in after she exited fairly early. And Michael, that could be something that we see today with Illinois Wesleyan shallow in post depth. Maybe Maya Smith running 4 guards and 1 post player.
Yeah, we'll see how they match up and see if they can find any weaknesses as they get the steal here.
Laid in with the defensive stop. Bali has 4.
Nice transition offense from Illinois Wesleyan off of the steal and getting the quick bucket.
Foul against Sarah Bali. Her first, the team's first.
Foul charge to the Titans, number 3, Sarah Bali. Her first personal, first team foul.
It's been back and forth in the early goings. Julia Loker into the game for the Pioneers, a transfer from last season. Wisner 0 for 2 from deep today. White with the rebound. Coach Ersman talked about how Loker is just a spark plug for them this year. Kobalarczyk, no answer. Rebounded by Anna Nielsen with contact. White with the poke and Bardick with the takeaway. White all alone. It's the indirect Sawyer White special, a steal and a side of 2.
Those are the buckets that Illinois Wesleyan is going to love to see today. Just quick and efficient and get right back on defense.
One thing that the Titans harped on was to not allow Carroll to get set in the half court. And so far, they've been doing a decent job at it as Nielsen walks.
Yeah, the more chaos you can create on the defensive end and not let the offense get set up, then they're not going to know what they're doing, and then they're going to
Team battle between the Titans and the Pioneers. Matt Sosser alongside Michael Eganhouse. 2 veteran coaches opposite each other. It could be an historic day for Illinois Wesleyan's Maya Smith. Smith 533 and 213. She can also pass Lori Cairns for the most in-conference wins in the CCIW. Currently 295 wins for the 28-year veteran as White buries the triple.
Nice start from Wesleyan coming off of the media timeout. And yeah, when you got a coach like Coach Smith, it's no wonder why this program has been so successful over the years with a coach like that.
Julia Loker rebounded by Layden. Smith and Cairns, the only 2 coaches in women's basketball in the CCIW to win a national championship as the head coach of a CCIW program. So it's not a shock that they're number 1 and number 2 as we get a tussle on the floor. It's a jump ball, possession Pioneers. And on the other side for Carroll, Lindsay Schultz in her 10th season, a record of 118, 112. These 2 teams no strangers to one another. They can finish each other's sentences given that they've played twice in the postseason over the last couple of years, in addition to their 2 regular season games. Loker guarded by the freshman Robinson, a foul underneath.
Yeah, I think you mentioned, these teams finishing their 2 sentences. I feel like it almost makes it easier for these 2 teams when you see each other because you can just mainly focus on the basics. Coach said it earlier in the pregame. They know what plays each other is gonna run. Just comes down to the fundamentals.
Errant pass taken away by Illinois Wesleyan, but then Rena Robinson returns the favor. Carroll trying to snap the scoring drought, but the pass is too much from Casey Kratz to Ryan Wendt. Wendt is a piece that Carroll is going to rely on. She missed nearly all of last year with a leg injury, but was a critical piece to their conference championship team a couple years back. Titans seek their largest lead of the day. Sawyer White off the glass and down. What a start for the senior.
White with the beautiful finger roll. The bank was open. She got it to fall.
Knocked out of bounds off of Ava Bardick last as Natalie Grecius re-enters.
Natalie Grecius returns for the Pioneers. Caitlin Layden back for the Titans. Correction possession stays.
Caitlin Layden re-enters for Illinois Wesleyan. A chess match between the two coaches with personnel. Last year, Illinois Wesleyan had control of the first quarter in the conference championship, and so far it's the same narrative today. Wisner out to Loker. Not a ton of room, steps through. Rebounded by Layden. On the drive with under 2 minutes left in the first. Bardick, the senior captain and preseason All-American. To White, the heat check. Rebounded by Ryan Wendt. At this point, Carroll's just looking for something. They go to the reliable scorer down low in Grecius, and she makes it happen.
Grecius with nice position right there against the Titan defender in Caitlin Layden.
Sarah Bali with the answer. She's got 6. Couple of substitutions for Illinois Wesleyan, ready to check in. Kaden King and Leah Palmer. The only question is, will they have the opportunity before the quarter expires? Casey Kratz. Second chance for Grecius. She's got the last 2 buckets for Carroll.
If you're Wesleyan, you do not want to let Carroll get those second chance points. That's what could decide this game, coming down to second chance points and rebounds. You got to control the glass before anything.
White, book it. Less than 10 minutes, she's already into double figures, and the Titans lead by 9. Carroll can hang on for the last shot, taken away by Sawyer White. She's fouled by Loker. Man, Michael, that would have sent the Shark into a frenzy.
That was exactly what you wanted. I think Carroll was going to try and wait for that last shot and end the quarter, but instead, Wesleyan stays aggressive, and they got the takeaway.
Now the question is, how will they assess the positioning on that play? It looks like they will say that the arm of Loker and White, they were even, so it's just a common foul on the ground. And now Illinois Wesleyan can hang on for the final shot, try to go up by double digits. Bardick with 2, got it! A storybook first quarter for the green and white, 21-10. What a start for the Titans, Michael.
Yeah, and talk about a way to finish that quarter. You feeling confident, getting up into a double-digit lead. Oddly enough, when trailing or when games decided by 5 or less, Wesleyan is 3-1. So they seem to like close games, but if you're the coaches on the bench, I'm sure you want to keep this double-digit lead and not have that stress.
The second quarter last year for Illinois Wesleyan was a gold mine, one of their best. This year, it has been a point of emphasis for Illinois Wesleyan. Can they maintain their double-digit lead? We'll find out after this on the CCIW Network.
When competition for the best jobs is fierce, how do you set yourself apart? Experience? An education? Yes, but not just any education. At Illinois.
Start of the second quarter in Bloomington, and what a first quarter it was for Sawyer White, the senior captain out of Downers Grove, leading the Titans in scoring, hitting double figures yet again. And for Sawyer, it's been a solid run for her. She broke the program's all-time steals record of 296 down in Florida against Wisconsin Lutheran just a couple days back. The Titans forced yet another turnover and get it back. I was talking with the White family pregame, and a thing that they focused on was for Sawyer, once that record fell, they thought she would play a lot looser because you don't have that record hanging over your head. And Michael, that certainly has been the case in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think sometimes, players think about the history and wanting to get their name into the record books, and they're so focused on that's all they focus on. They forget about the rest of the game and the main point of winning the game.
White with 13 points, and that steal at the end of the first quarter, her 300th career steal. She's got 3 on the day. Meanwhile, the Pioneers have been struggling as White takes it away. That's 3:01. However, she lost it out of bounds, gives it right back to Carroll. Carroll, a team that relies on being consistent from the field, just 5 of 14.
They're going to want to get that percentage up with this double-digit deficit. They were trying to find Gracious down in the paint. She had pretty good position. It wasn't the greatest of passes, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to try and find Gracious once again in that paint.
They find Nielsen down low. She connects. Nielsen on the board, one of the players who last year had a more increased role as the year went along, and this year, after not only losing Olivia Rangel, but losing Chloe Halverson and Natalie Paulskill, expected to play a much larger part in this Carroll operation. Wisner, cross court to Kratz, pitch and catch. The Pioneers, who are 0 for 4 from three-point land, a little hesitant to start the second from behind the arc. Results in a 3-second call on Gracious and a turnover. That's the 10th Carroll turnover in just 12 minutes of basketball, Michael.
That's credit to Illinois Wesleyan playing good defense, but if you're Carroll, you're not going to like that stat. You need to protect the ball, have some possession time, run the plays, and tire out this Wesleyan defense so that they can't be so aggressive.
It also seems that the Titans have come out with a little extra edge. Bardick, just a tad short, being on the road for over a month, and then finally getting to come back in one of your biggest games of the year right after New Year's Day. They have certainly ascended to the task. Kratz. Rebounded by White. That's her second. Kobalarchak from her favorite spot. Nielsen with the snare. Kobalarchak knocked it out.
You mentioned coming home. For this Illinois Wesleyan team, they have a winning percentage of .762 at the Shirk all time. So home court advantage certainly can't be overlooked in such a big matchup.
It's been one of the harping points for Maya Smith is taking care of home court, especially in a conference that has so many unique venues and travel stories. It's one of the consistent things that you can control. Count it in the foul from Anna Nielsen.
Nice cut by Anna Nielsen, able to finish it off and get the extra free throw. She cut right down the middle. You got to protect the house if you're Illinois Wesleyan. Watch for the cutters coming down the paint.
Nielsen at the line to complete the three-point play.
Nielsen for the three-point try. She's got all 5 for the Pioneers in the second 10. Titans still seeking their first basket of the second quarter. White, long 2. Bali with the second chance. She's fouled on the ground.
That's what you get when you have hard work inside of the paint with positioning. Sarah Bali got good positioning on the offensive rebound. She got fouled, which is why she couldn't collect the ball, but possession still stays with Illinois Wesleyan.
Sawyer White, what a start. 16 for Sawyer White. Well on pace to her career high mark of 22 that she's set multiple times. White with the takeaway. Baseball pass, Bardick with space. Rebounded by Loker, the track meet continues. Grecius settles things down. She's got 8.
Nice pump fake from Grecius. Wesleyan wasn't able to settle it down on their end, but the Carroll Pioneers were able to get the bucket on the nice pump fake and shot.
Lead-in, offensive foul.
Seems like the tide is kind of changing in this second quarter right now. Deficit is 7 for Carroll, but they've certainly come out in this second quarter and kind of flipped the momentum in their favor.
Pioneers shooting 3 of 4 from the field over the last 5 minutes. Much different compared to the first, where they were 5 of 14, knocked out of bounds, another turnover.
No surprise, Sawyer White was on the defense.
Leah Palmer into the Titan lineup.
And at this point, White's also well on her way to a double-double the unconventional way. It would be points and steals. 16 points to 4 steals. Still in the first half. Palmer, stripped by Nielsen. Numbers for the Pioneers if they hurry. Barger with the layup, and just like that, Carroll is clawing back to a 2-score game.
See if Wesleyan can kind of set their offense up and get some time of possession. It feels like it's been a track meet. They like it that way, but we'll see if they can swing the momentum back with just some plays and momentum with ball control.
10 on the shot clock. Bali in a landmine. Can't close. The Pioneers can make it a 1-score mark. Titans led by as many as 11. That was at the end of the first period. Inside, Barger, fouled by White. That'll send Barger to the line for 2 shots. The Pioneers, perfect from the free throw line today. 1 of 1 as we reach the under 5 media timeout. Carroll's on the comeback. 24-19 Titans on the CCIW network. Welcome to Titan Table Talk, the podcast that takes you inside Illinois Wesleyan athletics. Each week, I sit down with Titan coaches and student athletes to share their stories, analysis, and insights on what it means to be a Titan.
Really love each other and want to support each other.
We just have a really strong family component.
Tune in to Titan Table Talk on YouTube, IWUsports.com, and 88.1 WESN every Monday at 7 p.m. Just Thrive. Just Thrive Health, founded by IWU baseball alum Billy Anderson and his wife Tina, proud parents of former Titan athletes Nina and Marco Anderson. Just Thrive, it takes guts to be healthy. 4.5 minutes until halftime. Matt Sosler alongside Michael Eganhouse. The Titans up 24-19. However, what was once a double-digit margin has shrunk. The Pioneers dominating so far in the second stanza.
Yeah, they're doing a really, really nice job. They've changed the momentum in their favor. They're getting the looks that they want, whether it's on steals or just dumping it off into the paint. They're getting those easy buckets. Illinois Wesleyan's got to tighten it up a little bit, get back to their game, play with pace. And Sawyer White on that last play, I don't mind that foul on Carroll. You don't want to let easy points into the bucket. Make them earn it at the free throw line.
Last year in the conference championship game, the Titans outscored the Pioneers 25-24 in the second 10, but it took a late run from the green and white to get them ahead in that high-octane quarter. First free throw from Barger makes it a 4-point contest. Barger shooting 70% from the line this year. Back to a one-score margin.
Caitlin Layden into the Titan lineup.
Layden replaces her high school and college teammate, Aja Kobalarchak. Three seniors and two freshmen on the court for the Titans, including Ava Bardick, the leading scorer for the Titans, has just two today. Sarah Bali with a big-time three.
That was nice vision there. Find Bali on the three-point line. She was wide open. She caught the ball nice, quick and shoot.
Bali with 9 points. Big basket to get the Titans up by 6. The Titans get it back.
Yeah, Carroll a little too aggressive on the cuts. Wesleyan staying in nice, sound defensive position.
Fouls on Gussman, that's her first. We haven't had a ton of fouls. That's just the 5th combined in the second quarter. Michael, you alluded to pace earlier on. It seems like both teams have gotten that under control.
Yeah, I think, maybe some jitters in this in the opening quarter with the stakes of this game, but nicely job by both teams to get settled down, because that's when you're going to be at your best and you can set up your offense and defense and get those points.
Bali's fouled, or check that, they call it travel first on the second chance.
Katie Barger returns to the Carroll lineup.
Rebounding battle 15-11 in favor of Carroll. Sawyer White's back in. Carroll's 5 of their last 6 from the floor. A foul on the inlet pass goes against the Titans.
Titan foul charge number 4, Rena Robinson. That's her first personal.
First foul on Robinson as she checks out. Ava Bardick re-enters. Bardick, who averages nearly 19 points a game, had 22 against Wisconsin Lutheran. Only 2 today for her. With 10 on the shot clock, Ryan Wendt against Lippick. Second chance, Wendt can't come through. White drives down and he'll head to the line.
Nice aggressiveness from White, just straight on attacking the defender of Carroll, right down the lane, drawing the foul, and now she'll get the chance to add on at the free throw line.
Third team foul. Sawyer White at the line for the Titans.
What a start it has been for Sawyer White. 16 points, 6 of 9 from the field, 4 of 5 from three-point land, and now a perfect 1 of 1 from the charity stripe. She's now 27 of 31 from the free throw line. Meanwhile, Carroll, who started off this second quarter firing on all cylinders, they've been scoreless for nearly the last 2 minutes. Gracious, who can shoot the three but has been limited. Wisner wide open, in and out. That's a dangerous look for Illinois Wesleyan, one of the top sharpshooters in the country with plenty of space, but she can't make him pay. Bartik is fouled on the three-point attempt. So what a sequence, Michael. You go from having the ball in your best shooter's hands, a chance to cut it down to 5, and now Bartik heads to the line, one of the best free throw shooters nationally, has an opportunity to put Illinois Wesleyan up yet again by 11 if she can connect on all three.
Huge free throws coming here from Bartik.
Shoots nearly 86%. It's rare in basketball when you talk about point swings because basketball can be so indirect sometimes, but if Bartik makes this one, that's a 6-point swing right there, and indeed it is.
Comes down to the smallest of details. Free throws certainly being one of them. If you're a good free throw shooting team, you usually are good in the tight games. Like I mentioned, Wesleyan has a very good record in very close games, and it comes down to things like that and making those free throws.
Titans are 4th nationally in free throw percentage. Nearly another one for Sawyer White. Gracious dribbles out of bounds, but it hit off of White's foot last.
Carroll.
Both teams with 11 points in the second quarter. Kobalarczyk with the foul on the inbound.
Titan foul charge to number 24.
That puts the Pioneers in the bonus, sends Anna Nielsen to the line where she's
Anna Nielsen at the line.
just over 50% on the year, 15 of 29. A senior out of Verona, Wisconsin. Last year, only scored 7 points in 3 games against the Titans. She's matched that mark so far in the first half this year today with 7. White has it stripped with under 2 minutes. And Locher loses it out of bounds. Both teams just trying to get the momentum on their side of the court before we head to halftime.
Yeah, I think you want to be good and feeling happy with your performance going into halftime, and it's going to be really key for Illinois Wesleyan to not let Carroll go on a run here as they're down by 9. You want to keep a good lead heading into halftime and make sure that you're going to have a second half game plan because you know Carroll's going to change some things up.
Kobalarczyk had the mismatch, but picked up her dribble. Sarah Bali through traffic. It's taken away by Nielsen. Bali with the strip. Has it taken away by Barger. Now Wisner. In and out. Layden settles things down. Couple of good opportunities on both sides, Michael.
Yeah, we'll see if Illinois Wesleyan, with just a minute to go in this quarter, we'll see if they slow it down, but Bartik says, nope, I'll take a shot.
Bartik now 1 of 5 from the field. Chance for the 2-for-1 for Carroll. However, Locher leaves it short. Zarabali can't connect.
Went in on that shot a little bit out of control, trying to draw the foul a little bit more than focusing on the shot.
9-second difference between shot and game clock. Kobalarczyk got her hand in. That sends Locher to the line. The junior out of Greendale, Wisconsin, transferred from Division II Malone at the beginning of last season. Only 5.3 points per game last year, but has increased her production. She's averaging 13.8 entering today, including 23 against Washington and Lee, their last time out. Also has only missed 4 free throws this year. to make it a 7-point margin. Just like that, Carroll's got themselves a mini 4-0 run. Gussman re-enters. Loker takes a seat. With 24 and change, you'd say the Titans would hang on for the last shot. Not so much to get the momentum on their side, but more as a preventative measure, considering that the last minute or so has belonged to the Pioneers. White's pass off a leg. Grecius gets it back, 6 seconds. Gussman out to Wisner. And time expires. Illinois Wesleyan catches a break there after the turnover. Carroll outscores the Titans 15-11 in the second 10, but Illinois Wesleyan with a strong offensive stretch about 3/4 of the way through the second period to keep their margin at arm's length.
Yeah, I think it was overall a nice job from Illinois Wesleyan, keeping it at that arm's length like you mentioned. That last sequence, I'm sure that's not how they wanted to end it. They gave the turnover over to Carroll, but they dodged the bullet as Carroll wasn't able to put the ball in the basket. But I think overall you're feeling pretty good with this lead heading into the halftime, but they got to go into the locker room, put their heads down. They know what they got to do. They got to come back out and execute.
Illinois Wesleyan scoreless the last 2 minutes and 14 seconds of the second quarter. Meanwhile, Carroll in the second quarter, 4 of 10 from the field. We'll take a quick timeout, break down the first half when we come back on IWSports.com and the CCIW Network.
Proportion to me is the lived experience of our Division III student athletes. They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong friendships. But they also are involved in their communities. They work jobs and internships and volunteer. They've learned to be resilient. Diverse experiences are setting them up for the future.
Passion's love. Passion is love for what you do. Because I think when you face challenges, it comes down to how much you want it and how much you love it. Passion is what keeps you going forward. Seeing so many people that were like-minded and so hardworking in their sport and academics, being surrounded by like-minded people makes you want to be more passionate. I think it pushes you to a different level that maybe you didn't think you had. You can do the best of both worlds and love all of it.
A good citizen is someone who wants to make a positive impact, both in their communities and in the world around them. The Division III approach is absolutely the best approach out there for amateur sport because it wants student athletes to explore all parts of who they are. Be successful in the classroom, be successful in competition, be successful in the community. So our student athletes learn what it means to strive for and attain success, but doing it the right way and being good citizens.
Comprehensive learning is being able to adapt to experiences and apply the things that I learned. Being an athlete and juggling academics helped me grow as a person, and things that I've learned, I was able to apply it in another field, putting them into everyday life. Developing comprehensive learning helped me prioritize certain things to make sure I get to where I want to be.
Responsibility is being accountable for your words and actions, first and foremost. It also is an obligation to be a positive influence in the communities around you. Being in a D3 program, you're going to have lots of different opportunities. You're not just an athlete, you're also involved in student life. Your academics are extremely important. We give a lot of our student athletes responsibilities right from the start by giving them leadership opportunities, by having them engage in the community, being a positive influence. That's being a responsible person.
I believe sportsmanship is it's a mutual admiration and respect for your fellow competitors. We all go through a lot to reach the point where we compete against one another. It's important to realize that. So once we're finally on the field or on the court or on the starting block, we look at each other as fellow human beings and not just competitors. Being able to recognize the hard work that other athletes are putting in creates a more positive and inclusive environment.
Halftime at the Shirk Center in Bloomington. Matt Sossler alongside Michael Eganhouse. Illinois Wesleyan up 32-25 over Carroll. Before we break down the first half here at the Shirk Center, let's take a look at some other scores from around the CCIW. The first day of conference play in the new year, as believe it or not, Michael, this is the time of year where I know coaches don't like to do this, but us as broadcasters, observers of the game, we start thinking about how every single game could play a role once we get to the end of February and into early March. So here's, without further ado, what we got from around the conference. Augustana up 34-15 over Milliken. Elmhurst up by 11 over Carthage. That game's at the half. We got a tight one in Naperville at half. North Park 33, North Central 32. Wheaton is on their conference bye. However, they have filled the open date by taking on the University of Chicago at King Arena. The Maroons with a 34-24 lead over the Thunder at halftime. Taking a quick peek at the CCIW standings in women's basketball. 2 to 3 games in for both teams. The Titans and the Pioneers are the only undefeated teams left. Illinois Wesleyan at 3-0, Carroll at 2-0, and one of those marks will fall at the end of this game with the Titans up by 7 at half. North Central, Elmhurst, and Augustana each with 1 loss. The Cardinals and the Blue Jays with 2 wins. The Vikings with just 1. And then Milliken and Wheaton each at 1 and 2. Carthage and North Park 0-3 and 0-2 respectively. Every single Saturday, every single Wednesday, you just never know how much the conference landscape can change. That'll be a talking point more so in a little bit for the men's game coming up right after this. But even on the women's side, you never know what off day, if a team doesn't play up to their best and they get upset, how it could cost them at the end of the year.
Yeah, I think, for these games, you have to go in, you want to go in with every game with a do-or-die attitude because they're just such high stakes, but especially in conference play and, with both of these teams not having a loss in conference, if we get back to the conference, or if we get to the conference tournament, and one of these teams is not playing for a championship, we're going to look back on this specific day and remember this game. Whoever wins and whoever loses, it's going to be one of the big differences in why they're not competing for a championship.
It's one of the favorite sayings in college sports and sports in general. But in the case of college basketball, you can't win a championship in January, but you can certainly lose one. And that may be the case every single day in the CCIW with how tight it is. A note for North Park and North Central, if the Vikings can hang on, it would be their first conference win in nearly 2 years. So we'll keep our eye on that score out in Naperville. But a tight day around the CCIW in women's basketball, including here at the Shirk Center, where the top team in the conference, Illinois Wesleyan, holds a 32-25 advantage over Carroll. Back to break down the first half and preview the third quarter after this on the CCIW Network. To Titan Table Talk, the podcast that takes you inside Illinois Wesleyan athletics. Each week, I sit down with Titan coaches and student athletes to share their stories, analysis, and insights on what it means to be a Titan.
Really love each other and want to support each other.
We just have a really strong family component.
Tune in to Titan Table Talk on YouTube, IWUsports.com, and 88.1 WESN every Monday at 7 p.m.
We didn't just want to add strains, we wanted to add results. So at Just Thrive, we were very specific about finding strains that work synergistically to improve the overall microbiome in a way that you could feel it. For example, reducing bloating, improving the immune response, improving digestion, working on leaky gut. These are all things you will feel when you start to use a product that is formulated in a synergistic way. Try the Just Thrive probiotic and antioxidant and see how microbial synergy works for you.
Titans up by 7 at the half at the Shirk Center. Matt Sosler alongside Michael Eganhouse. Let's take a look at some of the first half numbers. Really for the Pioneers, Michael, it was a tale of 2 quarters. In the first quarter, 5 of 14 from the field, and then they improved that to 4 of 10 in the second period to cut into a gap. They were down by 11 at the end of 10.
Yeah, I think it took them some time to find a rhythm in their shooting, and they eventually found it. I think if you're Illinois Wesleyan, you're looking at points from turnovers. They have 11 points off of turnovers. Carroll only has 4 points off of turnovers. So Wesleyan's forcing the turnovers, but they're also scoring from the turnovers. If you're Carroll, you need to keep the shooting up and continue that trend upwards in the percentage, but you also need to convert on those turnovers. You're creating them, you're just not scoring as much off of them.
27 combined turnovers so far today. The Pioneers have coughed it up 15 times. The Titans have given it away 12 times. Another thing to look at is scoring volume. For Illinois Wesleyan, their score sheet looks like this. Sawyer White with 18, Sarah Bali with 9, Ava Bardick with 5. Nobody else has scored. For Carroll, Grecius has 8, along with 5 rebounds. Anna Nielsen with 7. Barger with 6. Wisner and Loker each with 2. So both of these teams in the first half getting to their destination by taking what I would call an alternate route. It's not usually what you'd see out of both these teams to get to over 50 combined points at the halftime.
Yeah, I think it comes down to any way you can get things done, right? It doesn't matter how you win or how you get your points. It just matters that you actually get it done. I think both teams are finding out that they're able to do that, and they're just going to have to continually make changes. A lot of times it comes down to who can adjust quicker and better as we go along in the game, as they feel each other out more. These coaches certainly know how to adjust. It'll come down to who can do it quicker and with better execution.
About 4 minutes left in halftime. We'll be back with the third quarter after this on the CCIW Network. Just a 30. Welcome to Titan Table Talk, the podcast that takes you inside Illinois Wesleyan athletics. Each week, I sit down with Titan coaches and student athletes to share their stories, analysis, and insights on what it means to be a Titan.
Just really love each other and want to support each other.
We just have a really strong family component.
Tune in to Titan Table Talk on YouTube, IWUsports.com, and 88.1 WESN every Monday at 7 p.m. When it comes to lunch, one thing that makes it great is variety. Biaggi's lunch menu is packed with variety, from a selection of freshly tossed salads and specialty sandwiches to the popular lunch and half an app. Half of that includes the choice of 2 items, a soup, salad, a half pizza, or a half sandwich. Lunch at Biaggi's is always fresh, it's fast, and definitely filling. Enjoy lunch at Biaggi's today, open daily at 11 a.m. at 3010 East Empire Street. To view menus or place an order for curbside pickup, visit www.biaggi's.com.
What is proven science? At Just Thrive, it's about best-in-class clinical research. It's about supplements that empower users to control their health. These are the elements that make up the foundation of Just Thrive. Our proven, clinically backed, proprietary probiotic removes the guesswork from supplement selection, because we've done the work for you to ensure that you're getting the best product possible, empowering you to take back control of your health from a leader in the digestive, immune, and emotional health spaces.
Start of the third quarter at the Shirk Center in Bloomington. Matt Sossler alongside Michael Eganhouse, Illinois Wesleyan, with a 32-25 advantage over Carroll. Michael, the storylines in this game, they write themselves. Not only top 2 teams in conference, so the winner puts themselves in the driver's seat towards potentially hosting the conference tournament in about 6 to 8 weeks. Not only that, but it's a top 25 duel with number 13 and number 14. And then last but not least, Maya Smith, the head coach for Illinois Wesleyan, has a chance in eventful fashion to surpass Lori Cairns, the all-time winningest coach in CCIW play. The two of them are currently tied at 295 wins, and Smith can get her 296th win in her 28th season Michael, there have been 47 coaches who have coached in a CCIW game, and Smith has a chance, if her team can hang on in the next 20 minutes, to be atop that list.
Well, you got to think that is on her mind. We talked about it earlier in the game with players kind of thinking about records. I'm sure that coach has it on her mind, but I think it's a lot easier for a coach to have it on her mind than a player to have it on their mind. And she's certainly going to get her troops rallied up, but, I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better basketball game between two of these teams in the conference play to start the new year, and I think we have one heck of a finish here in the second half with Wesleyan up by 7.
And if you're Carroll, you come out slow out of the gates with it being first game after the new year. They haven't played since December 21st, so it's been a while, plus you add on the Christmas holiday where everybody goes home, so you're not even in a routine. You come out slow in the first quarter, you get back into rhythm in the second. What does Carroll need to do to keep that momentum heading into the third quarter?
Well, I think, number one, they are shooting 0 for 5 right now from the three-point line. I think you continue to go with what's working, and that's getting points not from the three-point line. So I think you continue to attack the inside, attack the paint, and that'll kind of get the Wesleyan defense to collapse and maybe open up the three-point line as this game continues.
Pioneers are 25th nationally in three-point percentage on the year. Titans start with the basketball, and Ava Bardick opens the books. Bardick with 7 points, and that's something that Illinois Wesleyan could take advantage of, with Bardick having a relatively quiet opening 20. Nielsen on the answer. She'll head to the line. Check that. Another travel call before the contact, Michael.
I was just about to say it was a nice job by Carroll breaking the press of Illinois Wesleyan. Unfortunately, they get the travel call. We'll see if they can do it again, though. It was nice ball movement. They got it to the paint, just unable to finish.
Sawyer White, the leading scorer this afternoon with 18 points, just 4 off her career high. Calls her own number. Count it in 1.
Excellent job from Illinois Wesleyan right there. They get the bucket, and they'll get the free throw. Sawyer White, nice concentration going up. That's a lot harder than it looks to keep your concentration and balance and finish the bucket.
White 2 for 2 from the free throw line today. Make it 3 of 3. Illinois Wesleyan with their largest lead of the day at 12. Taken away on the overthrow by Sarah Bali. Bali has White with room. But a good closeout by Emily Wisner. Bardick tees it up and puts it in.
Wesleyan, this is exactly how you wanted to come out of halftime right now. You extend the lead 40-25. And if you're Carroll, you need to find some way to put some pressure on this full court press from Wesleyan and break it a little bit and maybe scare them a little bit to get the transition offense going.
What a start for the green and white. Couple of big-time plays from their seniors. We'll be back in 30 seconds on the CCIW Network. The score in the first minute and 4 seconds of the third quarter. Illinois Wesleyan 8, Carroll nothing. Matt Sossler alongside Michael Eganhouse. The Titans continue to grow their largest lead, forcing Lindsay Schultz, the head coach of the Pioneers, to burn one of her timeouts fairly early.
You got to like that from Illinois Wesleyan, because timeouts in these type of games are going to be so crucial at the end of the game, and forcing Carroll to use one early could come down huge if they need to use one late.
Not only that, but in the after timeout, Sarah Bali takes it away and to add on, forces the foul on Natalie Grecius. That's just her first, so it's not a cause of concern just yet. But Grecius has been the do-it-all player for the Pioneers this year. Leads the way with 8 points for Carroll. Perfect 4 of 4 from the field. Getting officials discussion. It'll be Titan basketball. And I think they're trying to figure out who got charged with it. And it'll stay on Grecius. They clear that up. Kobalarchuk catches it off the tip. A travel called on Sarah Bali. We've seen a lot of those today, Michael. It's January 3rd. I thought that time for traveling was over.
You would think so. But these women like to keep us on our toes a little bit.
Taken away by White. That's her 5th steal. And a career high for Sawyer White. Timeout, Carroll.
2 timeouts burned early from Carroll. And that is potentially going to spell trouble for them. 8:30 left in this third quarter, but what a job by Wesleyan.
It has been all Titans. We'll take another timeout back in a moment on the CCIW Network.
OSF Healthcare Cardiovascular Institute has been named one of the top hospital systems in the country for heart care. This prestigious award by the American College of Cardiology comes from our commitment to providing the highest quality of care. From general cardiology to complex surgeries and the latest technology. Nationally recognized heart care right here. OSF Healthcare Cardiovascular Institute.
The Carroll Pioneers trying to figure out how to just get something in order. Illinois Wesleyan outscoring Carroll 10-0 since the half. Just 90 seconds expired. Matt Sasa alongside Michael Eganhouse, and this has been behind their senior leader, Sawyer White. A career-high 23 points to go along with 5 steals. Continuing to grow her record as the Titans' all-time leader in steals. Ryan went, and the lid is still on the rim for the Pioneers. Knocked out of bounds. And it stays with the Titans.
Coach Smith talked about it very early in the season about with losing some of their key players, they were going to have to find a different way to win, and I think you're seeing that as this game continues. And she had to change her coaching style. She is coaching a lot more, she said, than she has in the past, and changed her tactics to fit this team more, and I think that's something that's really key and why she's such a good coach.
Kobalarchuk's fouled on her way up. And when you have a freshman class, not only with the quantity of freshmen that they have, but the quality of freshmen that they have, you sometimes have to not necessarily reteach your system, but it also, you could view it as an opportunity. You can try and take a look at some new things that may fit this group better, because not only are you looking at the players coming in, but you look at the players that you lost at the end of last year, and what worked for the class of 25 may not work as well for the class of 29. In trouble, knocked out of bounds, stays with Carroll.
Yeah, and she talked about they played 2 exhibition games earlier in the year with Eastern Illinois and Illinois State, and she said it showed some of their deficiencies with rebounding and scoring power, too, that she mentioned. And those are the type of things that, as a coach, she's tasked with changing and figuring out the best way to get the best out of her players.
Sling pass, a rare 3 from Wendt. Rebounded by Bali. The Pioneers are 0 for 6 from deep today. So it's not just the 0 for 6, Michael, but it's the denominator there. It's the 6. The fact that they've only shot from deep 6 times, but it's usually been their calling card to winning games.
And I think sometimes if you're not starting out hot, you kind of shy away from that, and you don't want to shoot as many because you don't think you can make as many. But I think if you're Carroll, you shouldn't get away from it, especially with the deficit growing as it is. You're going to need to start hopefully knocking down some of those threes and clawing your way back into this one a little bit quicker than just 2s.
Still 10-0 Titans in the third quarter. Barger is fouled.
Titan foul charge number 3, Sarah Bali. That's her second personal.
It's on Sarah Bali, her second. Michael, that could be a way for Carroll to claw back, earning points with the clock stopped from the free throw line.
Yeah, if you can't make your 3s, then get to the free throw line and make your free throws. They're a very good free throw shooting team.
8 of 8 today. Make it 9 of 9. Illinois Wesleyans on an extended 18-4 run over the last 6 minutes. Caitlin Layden, freshman, has her first bucket of the day.
Nice drive from Layden using the left hand off the glass. The glass is always your friend.
Sawyer White with another steal. And another Sawyer White special. A steal and a side of 2 points. Barger fouled by White. White's got 25 points and 6 steals to go along with a pair of rebounds.
She is putting her team on her back in this game right now. Big-time players make big-time plays. Sawyer White is leading the way.
But another chance for Carroll to at least play trading of points with Barger at the line. She's hit 3, now 4 free throws in the last couple of trips. Sawyer White's career high in steals is 9. That was at Hendricks on December 29th of 2023. A year in which she set the single-season mark for Illinois Wesleyan with 112 steals. Sarah Bali gets her own rebound. Contact underneath.
Titan foul charge number 3, Sarah Bali.
It's on Sarah, and that's her third.
Third team foul. Timeout on the floor.
Timeout on the floor. Immediate timeout. Back in a moment. Illinois Wesleyan. So far, so good in the third on the CCIW Network. Midway through the third quarter, Illinois Wesleyan is outscoring Carroll 16-4 since halftime. Matt Sossler alongside Michael Eganhouse. In case you're just joining us, it's been all Sawyer White, 25 points to go along with 6 steals. For Carroll, Katie Barger leads the way with 10 points. Kobalarczyk gets called for the foul. However, the Pioneers have done a good job over the last minute or two of forcing contact from the Titans to try and just claw back one by one.
Yeah, I think if you're Carroll, you need to stay aggressive and force Wesleyan to continue to get closer and closer to foul trouble individually and get free throws and sink them.
All 4 Pioneer points have come from the free throw line in the third. Wisner from 3. Second chance for Carroll. This time it's Barger. The Pioneers are now 0 for 8 from three-point land.
Those were 2 pretty wide open looks for Carroll as well.
That onto that. Wisner is 0 for 5. Sarah Bali all alone.
That was a defensive miscommunication. Bali on an island in the paint.
Bali into double figures for the 7th time this year. She's the 3rd Titan to hit double digits today. Wisner rattles around. Fast break from Bardick. Second chance. Bali. Rebounded by Wendt. Gracious in trouble. Spins around out of it and gets the first field goal for Carroll in the third quarter.
This is where, if you're Carroll, you got to put some defensive stops together and not foul.
Fouls on Ryan Wendt. That's her first personal. That puts Martha Lippick at the line, the senior out of Oak Park, Illinois. She's 8 of 11 from the free throw line this year.
And Julia Loca returned for the Pioneers. Martha Lippick at the line for the Titans, shooting 2.
It's the first miss free throw on either side today. Before that, Illinois Wesleyan was 8 of 8. Carroll 11 for 11. Lippick gets a split pair. Just the 6th Titan to find nylon this afternoon, Michael. Loker, who has just 2 points today. Top 4 scorer on Carroll. A lot of the top scorers for the Pioneers have struggled. Casey Kratz. Gracious with the rebound. Layden reaches up with 2 hands and takes it back.
For a team that we said it doesn't miss too much, those are the type of opportunities when you get offensive rebounds. You got to make sure you bury them. Carroll's just not able to find the bucket. It's got a lid on it right now.
Rebounding battle is even at 22.
Possession stays with Carroll.
Jump ball, arrow stays with the Pioneers as Sawyer White checks back in. The other thing about Sawyer White that makes her afternoon even more impressive is you look at her minutes. This is a player who early on in the year was playing north of 35 minutes a game. She's only at 23. And with the margin that Illinois Wesleyan has, if they can maintain it, there's a chance that this could be one of her lighter days in terms of quantity. Kratz with the spin around.
Quality over quantity.
Bardick with the baseline J. She's got 12. So Bardick now has been in double figures 13 times this year. She's reached it in every single game. Her 54th career contest with 10 points or more. Here's Gracious, denied by Bardick.
That was a beautiful job by Bardick, not fouling. She got all ball. Stays with the Pioneers, but excellent defense.
It's an underrated part of Bardick's game. She led the Titans in blocks last year. Kratz gets fouled on her way up. This year, that honor for Illinois Wesleyan is Asha Kobalarczyk with 9. But also the style of post players for Maya Smith's squad this year, a little bit different. compared to last year. Last year it was utilizing 2 or 3 what people would call stretch 4s. And this year they have more of a conventional post look. Bardick. Rebounded by Went. Casey Kratz drives down in. She's got 6. Only averages 2.2 points per game. The junior out of Hartford, Wisconsin. But sometimes, Michael, when you're in a game like this, you got to keep going deeper and deeper down your bench to find that spark plug. Kratz gets the rejection and the turnover.
Yeah, you just got to keep the revolving door going and find something that works, whether it's a person, a type of play, pick and rolls, pick and pops, something that is going to crack this Wesleyan defense. They just have not found it in a way yet to get a lead as another turnover.
Off of Loker's foot. Another question is, how does Maya Smith,
Natalie Gracious returns for the Pioneers.
up by 16,
Layden back for the Titans.
handle the time and score situation, at least trying to shave some time off the third quarter? We know this Carroll team can shoot the basketball and they can be a very efficient squad.
Titans retain possession.
I think if you're Coach Smith, you're certainly keeping your foot on the gas pedal. You're not going to let Carroll find any sort of rhythm because it can change in an absolute heartbeat.
Eight on the shot clock. White got it. That's 28 for number 2. Turnover, Bardick. What a scoring spurt for Illinois Wesleyan.
And with Carroll using 2 of their timeouts earlier in the quarter, I'm not sure that Carroll's going to want to burn any more. We'll see if they can kind of slow things down and disrupt the momentum for Illinois Wesleyan. They need to get a quality offensive possession right here.
Gracious is fouled. And going off of that point, Michael, especially with only 54 seconds left in the period,
Foul charge.
you'd like to hang on to what you have left until the 4th. Caden King checks in for Illinois Wesleyan. Along with Rena Robinson and Martha Lippick. So does Leah Palmer. This may be the first hockey-style line change in the third quarter or earlier that I've seen from Maya Smith. The only other time I've seen her sub in 4 or more is if they're up by a lot with 2 minutes left in a game.
Could possibly just be getting her starters ready to go back in the 4th, expecting a surge from Carroll. But if you are the Pioneers right now, you need a defensive stop, and you need to score and end on a good note in this third quarter.
10 on the shot clock. Palmer to Robinson. Rebounded by Went. And then a foul called on the Titans.
Titans foul charge.
Carroll is in the bonus.
Caden King, her first personal.
Fouls on King, her first, so both teams will walk at 94 feet.
This is where Carroll's found some good points on the board for them, making these free throws, sink them right here, get a defensive stop.
Went now 4 of 7 on the year from the free throw line. was a critical piece in their conference championship team 2 years ago. Missed nearly all of last year with a leg injury. A critical returning piece for the Pioneers is they try and figure out the post-Olivia Rangel era of Carroll basketball. 15 seconds left in the third. Robinson with 5. Palmer, rebounded by Lippick with 1, goes up and gets it.
That's kind of a dagger if you're Carroll. You were able to get the 1 free throw. You missed the second one, but you get possession, you get the bucket, but you let Illinois Wesleyan score on a buzzer beater to end the third quarter.
Carroll University 42.
Illinois Wesleyan outscores the Pioneers 30-17 in the third. The final 10 of regulation coming up after this on the CCIW Network. Illinois Wesleyan with a monstrous third quarter to build their lead to 60-42, 18 points heading into the final 10 of regulation. Matt Sossler alongside Michael Eganhouse. 2 top 15 teams going to battle, but it's been all Titans this afternoon, Michael.
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest things that I've harped on all game is the points off of turnovers. Even if Carroll cuts it in half, Illinois Wesleyan would only have a 5-point advantage with getting 13 points off of turnovers. Instead, they have 26.
The Pioneers with only 4 points off turnovers. Sawyer White for 30. Carroll basketball.
Pioneer basketball.
Sawyer White with 28 points. She's 5 of now 7 from three-point land, 10 of 15 from the field. It's a career high in points, and she's only 2 steals away from matching her career high in her calling card. Just a few days after she broke the program's all-time steals record.
Nobody's riding higher right now than Sawyer White.
Bardick, count it and 1.
Spin move from Bardick. Off balance, gets the foul and sinks the shot.
Bardick's got 16. This would be the second time in the last 2 years, if Bardick can get to 20, that the Titans have had 2 or more 20-point scorers against the Pioneers. Nielsen sat up there. Bardick pumps the brakes. Kobalarczyk with plenty of room.
Nice job by Kobalarczyk finding the open space on the transition offense. She sat down, waited for the pass, and quickly got it towards the bucket.
Gracious knocks down the long ranger. That's the first made 3 for Carroll today. They're 1 of 10. But now you also think about, Michael, if you're the Pioneers, you just want to start to see shots fall, given that you already had your bye. You got to play on Wednesday, try and get some sort of momentum heading into your next game. White with the answer. She's at 31 points and a timeout.
If you are on the side of Carroll, you are scratching your head wondering just what the heck can we do right now to get any sort of momentum. Sawyer White has completely taken over this game. Your shots are not falling for the Pioneers. I mean, this is just an absolute unsolvable puzzle right now.
The last time an Illinois Wesleyan player scored 30 or more was Lauren Huber, who put up 31 versus WashU on November the 27th back in 2022. That's pretty good company to be in, if I say so myself, Michael.
Huber, one of the storied players for Illinois Wesleyan. Anytime you can join the likes of a storied player in their franchise history, you're going to be feeling pretty good. And there is no better game up to this point for Sawyer White to have a coming out party like this.
So further on, the last time a Titan made 10 or more field goals was Lauren Huber. She made 12 versus Carroll in the conference championship last year. Sawyer White's 11 of 16. So certainly one for the books. Her final semester as a Titan, the elementary education major. She's done student teaching, but she certainly had her lesson plan all figured out this afternoon for the Pioneers, and she has taught it perfectly. Didn't touch anybody down low, so the Titans get it back.
Seems like the Carroll Pioneers just have not had that touch on that pass down into the post to Grecius. If they can figure that out, Grecius will find some mismatches down there, but they just need to find that nice little touch off of the dump pass.
Layden, she's got 4. Layden also the leading rebounder for the green and white with 12. Freshman has come in and has just been a rebounding machine for the Titans as Ryan Wendt gets the bucket on the other end.
Nice job by Wendt. Saw Sawyer White put her hands down, not taking any chances to foul. You got a good lead. There's no reason to foul.
Up 69-47. Pitch and catch with Sarah Bali. Hit off a Layden last.
Little give and go play from Illinois Wesleyan.
It looks like Maya Smith will burn a timeout, which will allow the officiating crew to take a peek at who touched that last. And at this point, if you're Coach Smith, up 69-47, if you have that timeout available to utilize the review, you might as well take it.
Yeah, no harm done in utilizing the review. Just kind of hope that it goes your way, but at the same time, rally your troops and tell them to, 6:46 left in this game. You got to finish out strong and make sure you put away this Carroll Pioneer team with a strong finish, carry the momentum into the next matchup.
The White family in the house here at the Shirk Center witnessed a historic day for Sawyer down in Florida when she got steal number 297, breaking Rebecca Erzman's mark of 296. And then here today, setting not only a career high for her, but doing something that hasn't been done in a few years by a Titan. It's been a fantastic couple of weeks for the White family. And that's the thing about the families here at Illinois Wesleyan. They're all so invested in not only their own student athletes, but everybody else. They say Titan family, and that saying is not just figurative, it's literal.
Yeah, everyone is so tight. I mean, you can go to any event here, whether it's in the Shirk Center at Tucci Stadium, and you're going to see the entire Illinois Wesleyan community at these events. Everybody knows each other, they support each other, and it's really a group celebration and not an individual celebration.
So after review, the call on the court stands. Carroll basketball. Kobalarczyk goes down behind the play, and we get a travel violation. And this is also a point in the game, Michael, where Coach Smith and Coach Schultz can utilize it as teaching moments, almost use it as a practice within a game. Focus on fundamentals and other points that they might have worked on in practice throughout the year. White again. Kratz with the rebound.
Yeah, I think especially talking about 9 freshmen in this class for Illinois Wesleyan, when you have games like this, you know, you may think, oh, it's not that big of a deal with only 6 minutes left in the game, but you can learn a lot if you're a freshman in those 6 minutes getting into the game.
White to Bardick for 2.
Sawyer White.
Went blocked from behind from Kobalarczyk, but they call a foul on the shot. That's also the 8th steal for Sawyer White. She's 1 away from tying her career high and 2 away from a double-double, which would be the first in her career, and it would be via points and steals.
Not your most conventional way to get a double-double.
Ryan went to the line, shooting 2.
But as we talked about all game long, the steals came in handy, getting the points off the turnovers. So I think Illinois Wesleyan will take it, and so will Sawyer White, no matter how she got it done.
And Nielsen into the Pioneers lineup.
Illinois Wesleyan with 32 points off of turnovers to Carroll's 4. For Illinois Wesleyan, who constantly rely on imposing their style of play, as Bali knifes through and gets the 2. They certainly have done that today.
Yeah, I think that's really important. When you can force the other team to play your style of game, you completely control every aspect of the game, and you're able to just run it on your own terms and not have to really worry about what the other team is doing. You just focus on what you're doing, and that's when teams are typically at their best.
Long pause, baseline inbound for Carroll. This may be one of the best opportunities for Sawyer White to get her 9th steal. Kratz on Bali. Nearly had it there. Barger with a solid drive in.
Nice seal out by Anna Nielsen on the drive to the bucket. Allowed her teammate to get right into the paint.
Barger with 12. Second on the Pioneers today, just trailing Grecius is White.
Possession to Carroll.
Goes up and it's called a jump ball. Possession arrow Pioneers. With under 5 minutes left, we see Peyton Jacob, the senior out of St. Joseph, take a knee. She'll come in for Sarah Bali. And I'd expect the warm-ups will come off the bench one by one, with Illinois Wesleyan up 73-51 and the clock continuing to run. Nielsen, rebounded by White, her 3rd. Jacob, off of Barger's leg.
Possession stays with the Titans.
White, what a day. That's 34 points, 7 of 10 from three-point land. Gracious. Rebounded by Ava Bardick. And at this point, Michael, everyone in the building knows who's likely to take the shot on this possession.
Well, why not? I mean, she's got the hot hands, and for a team that lost a lot of star power.
Barger with the steal. Can't close it on the other end. White, what a way to end her day.
Why not? I mean, she just cannot miss.
37 points for Sawyer White. Looking at the Titan fan section, you have two of the most prolific scorers in Titan history in Kate Palmer and Mallory Powers in absolute euphoria, disbelief, awe. At this point, I can't even come up with an adjective, Michael.
I mean, this is, you talk about taking over as a senior and finding that leadership. Coach Smith has got to be really happy. She has just put this game in her hands. She said, listen, everybody, you 9 freshmen, you better listen up because I'm taking over and you better follow my lead.
37 of the Titans' 79 points. And just like every basketball player wants to do, Sawyer White ends her day on a make.
Peyton Jacob,
Ashley Malum, along with Luigi Lamb, check in for the first time. Rena Robinson, Peyton Jacob, and Leah Palmer join her. See Megan Allen, a freshman out of Monticello, Illinois, heads over to the scorer's bench, along with Liv Myers. So I'm guessing over the last nearly 3 minutes, we'll see this group likely for the rest of the game. There's only one player on the Titan bench who still has her warm-up on. That's Lucy Hines, who's still working her way back from a preseason injury. And so I wouldn't expect in this situation, up by a lot, when you can buy her another week with the bye on Wednesday, to just get her legs back under her. Lamb for 3. The foul underneath. You give her that extra week to get ready to ensure that she's at 100% for North Park here at the Shirk Center a week from today.
Yeah, there's no reason to further risk further injury, I should say, and just giving her that extra week. You want every single player at full health, and that's going to be an important factor down the road as the season continues heading into CCIW tournament play and beyond. You need to make sure you keep all your players healthy.
Lamb, the sophomore out of Hong Kong. Jacob with the 3. Rebounded by Elena Pentalber out of Rockford, Illinois. For those of you who joined late as it's knocked out of bounds, It's all right in front of the Titans. A dominant conference win. They'll remain at a perfect record in CCIW play, improving it to 4-0. And in a minute and 56 seconds of basketball, Maya Smith will enter a territory that nobody else has eclipsed in the CCIW. Lamb again, knocks it down.
Going for Luigi Lamb.
Her first points of the day and her first 3 of the year. Kiara McMahon, the sophomore out of Mount Prospect. Off the mark, and Michael, these two teams, they'll get together again on January 24th up in Waukesha. As Malum dials it up and buries it. It's been team three-point shooting. They're nearly 50% today.
That's a good mark to be at for three-point shooting, and that's why they have the 85 points that they do in the dominating fashion. But as you mentioned, these teams will certainly meet again. You can certainly expect Carroll to make this necessary adjustments after this one, and this heated rivalry in the last couple of years especially is not going to go away, and they will have many more great contests.
Especially for the Pioneers, and you can't make an assumption on how the rest of the conference schedule is going to go, but that could be a must-win game for them if they want to play postseason contest on their home court, and if they also want to bye in the conference tournament. But like we talked about earlier, Michael, you never know. Every day in the CCIW, something wild can happen. And now, especially for the Pioneers, they could not afford an unscheduled loss. And the way I would approach an unscheduled loss, if you base it off the preseason poll, it would be to anybody outside of Illinois Wesleyan.
Yeah, I think, and also coming from the perspective of Illinois Wesleyan, it's really nice to get an early win against this Carroll team like this, because as it comes down the stretch in the schedule, the pressure kind of is off of you more.
Shot clock is off. "47 coaches have coached in the CCIW. And now one stands alone. Conference win, 296 for Maya Smith. She surpasses Lori Cairns and sits atop the wins list at 296 with a marquee victory from her Titans.
You couldn't have asked for a better performance from Coach Smith's squad. They got the job done, take some pressure off of themselves going into more conference play after the break, but just an absolutely A-plus performance from the Titans.
85-52 the final.
Time, we direct your attention to center court, where we'd like to congratulate Illinois Wesleyan head coach Maya Smith. With today's victory, Coach Smith has recorded her 296th CCIW career victory, making her the winningest coach in league history. Coach Smith surpasses the record previous held by Milliken's Lori Cairns. Congratulations, Coach Maya Smith.
You look at that list. Smith and Cairns, both national champions. Beth Baker, who the Conference Coach of the Year award is named after. Bernero, who spent so many years and had so much success at Carthage. And Kemp Madsen, who's still going at it, one of the most successful coaches at Wheaton. What a list to have your name on top of, and more importantly, what a way to do it. Not only taking down a team by over 30 points, but taking down the second-ranked team in the CCIW and a top 15 team nationally on your home court to start the second end of conference play.
Yeah, I think if it was against a team not named Carroll, it would still mean a lot to Coach, but getting it against such an opponent and in front of your home crowd, like you said, I think it means just that much more to Coach and her players and really the whole community, and the dominance of her reign just continues.
Post-game coverage begins after this with a couple of record breakers right after this on the CCIW Network.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor. It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
Michael Eganhouse along with the CCIW's all-time leader in wins, head coach Maya Smith. Congratulations on win number 296. And what a way to do it, taking down Carroll in emphatic fashion.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's a game I'll never forget because we played so well. And Matt, for 2 days, we only had 2 days to prep for them. We were so good in practice, so locked in. And man, what a performance by Sawyer White. When you're feeling it, you're feeling it.
Not only feeling it, but 37 points. Over 10 made field goals. What do you think worked for her today, coming back from a record-breaking performance where she broke the all-time steals record in a loss in Florida, and then just continuing to build off of that?
We've been telling Sawyer all year long, you are a high-percentage shooter. You need to take more shots. Her and Ava both. We want them to take more shots. She did that tonight, and when it goes in, when you see one go in, it just makes things so much easier. And, again, that is all pre-game work. It's all the summer stuff she does, everything she does during the school year to get better.
You come off a stretch of playing 4 straight ranked teams. You're able to rattle off a couple of wins, including a big one against Bethel, and you get a super important conference win today against Carroll. Where does this put your team heading into North Park next week? You got a bye on Wednesday, but conference games are always a challenge no matter who's on the other end.
That's true, and we really focus on our conference games. We want to play a tough schedule, and if anything, that schedule that we've played has prepared us for what we just saw today. But it's just, man, I'm so proud of those girls. We've had some struggle moments, but this one was close to perfect.
You flipped slots with Lori Cairns on the all-time wins list in conference. The two of you are the only two coaches to win a national championship out of the CCIW, but to have that flipped and to be mentioned in a sentence or a paragraph with her, what does that mean to you?
First of all, she is a dear, dear friend. We're sisters. We're breast cancer survivor sisters. So much of what I believe about the CCIW I have learned from her, and it is a storied conference. So it's a true honor. And again, kudos to all of my girls that have been on that floor because they're the ones that actually had that record.
Coach, real quick, just talking about Sawyer White and being a senior, you have 9 freshmen on your squad this year. Just talk about kind of the leadership and what you kind of bank on people like Sawyer White to do in terms of leadership.
Yeah, actually, as I mentioned before, our practices were so good. And in our scout, as Coach B is directing us through with the offenses and the things that they're going to do, she is so locked in. We call a play, and she's telling her teammates, it's flare, it's twirl, it's whatever it is. She's the one that was so locked in this. And Ava, too. Ava just has done a great job. I will say this about our freshmen. They hang on every word that Sawyer and Ava talk about. And actually, Laura Malum, too, our senior who's not able to put on a uniform yet, they listen to her quite a bit.
The crowd at the Shirk Center, for it being a holiday break game, seemed to be as alive as ever. Was it like being back at home after logging the miles, getting a win in, I believe, your 22nd state in the United States with your win over Bethel in Florida? What's it like finally being back in Bloomington?
That's wonderful. We always talk about the Shirk Saturdays, and it's had that feel all day. And in the locker room, we talked about how this game with Carroll had an NCAA tournament feel to it, and just really proud of the way the girls rose up to it.
The Titans victorious 85-52. Head coach Maya Smith gets a record-breaking win and a critical one over the Pioneers. Coach, congratulations on the win, and we'll talk on Saturday.
Sounds great. Thank you, Matt. Hi, Grandma Felina. And here comes the real star, Sawyer White.
What a tease from Coach Smith. Back after this with Sawyer. Titans win over Carroll 85-52. Matt Sossler, Michael Eganhouse, and today's player of the game, Sawyer White, 37 points, over 10 made field goals. What worked for you tonight?
I don't even honestly know. I just kept shooting the ball, and I think confidence. I had a lot of confidence in my shot today, and so I wanted the ball, and I think obviously it played in my favor a little bit, but I couldn't have done it obviously without assists and people making those passes for me. So it's just a great team win.
You tack on 8 steals. You surpassed 300 after you became the all-time steals leader against Wisconsin Lutheran. Has anything changed over the last couple of weeks, knowing that you had the record right in sight, and then coming out today after the record fell with just lighting it up from all areas of the court, from 3, down low, getting the steals and scores?
Yeah, I honestly have read, obviously, the press briefings that Katie Gonzalez puts out there, so I knew I was within reach, but I don't think it altered how I was going to play. I just got to go out there and do what I do. I know we came off a hard loss against Chicago, and then went 1-1 down in Florida. So we knew that this was going to be a must-win game for us because it means a lot for conference standings, of course, and then also the conference tournament. And we really want to have it here again because it's just been so fun the past 2 years. So that we try to get ourselves as ready as possible. Our 2 practices leading up to the Carroll game were great. So we really were just all in for this win today, and everybody working hard together.
Knowing the emotions of this game and it being such a competitive game with Carroll, how do you kind of go into the break and then recalibrate yourselves, not get too high but not get too low heading into your next matchup?
Yeah, so we don't play on Wednesday, so it's just going to be a week of practice. Luckily, we have 2 more days of practice before school starts, so we'll really take those practices to kind of hone in on things we need to work on. But I'm just really, really proud of the team. I think it was a whole team effort today. Whole team win. I think this is the best, honestly, our R&J has looked throughout the whole season so far. So it was fun. It was very fun.
Sorry, before I let you go, your family's been with you every step of the way, super duper invested. The Titan fan section at the Shirk Center was great after not being at home for over a month. What's it like having them follow your path, your college career, and then having Titan Nation show up on a day of all days where the students aren't even in town, but the Shirk Center feels as full as always?
Yeah, we knew that we were going to have a lot of fans. I actually have a lot of my extended family here, too, today, which is super fun. It means a lot. I don't know.
Sawyer White, 37 points, the player of the game, in a huge win for the green and white, 85-52 over Carroll. Sawyer, thanks so much. Congrats on a great performance.
Thank you.
We wrap up the program when we come back on the CCIW Network.
OSF Healthcare Cardiovascular Institute has been named one of the top hospital systems in the country for heart care. This prestigious award by the American College of Cardiology comes from our commitment to providing the highest quality of care, from general cardiology to complex surgeries and the latest technology. Nationally recognized heart care right here. OSF Healthcare Cardiovascular Institute.
Wrapping things up from the Shirk Center in Bloomington, Matt Sossler alongside Michael Eganhouse, Illinois Wesleyan 85-52 over Carroll. Before we hand things over to Eric Stock and Joel Swanson with the Titan men's basketball game, Michael, your final thoughts on a critical CCIW win?
Well, I think Illinois Wesleyan gained a lot of confidence today. I think they're going to feel really good. And looking forward, they need to keep taking the ball away like they did. And whatever Sawyer White ate for breakfast, I think the whole team needs to eat it for breakfast for the rest of the year.
this team, they're not superstitious. They're just a little stitious, but safe to say it worked. The Titans forced 27 turnovers and had a total of 35 points off of turnovers. The Pioneers dropped to 8-4, 2-1 in the CCIW. Illinois Wesleyan improves to 4-0 in league play. They are now 9-4 overall. Sawyer White leads the way with 37 points. Ava Bardick with 18, Sarah Bali with 13, and Maya Smith gets her 296th CCIW win on a historic day back here at the Shirk Center. For the Pioneers, they will take on Elmhurst this Wednesday, a team that has slowly been on the rise, led by Cameron Tucker. For the Titans, they'll have Wednesday off before they host North Park a week from today. Same time, same place here at the Shirk Center at 2 o'clock. Myself and Brittany Carper will have the call for you then. But until then, my thanks to our entire crew, and for Michael Eganhouse, I'm Matt Sossler. We'll talk to you next Saturday. Pre-game coverage starts at 1:45. Titans collect a big win, 85-52. This has been a presentation of Titan Basketball on the CCIW Network.